let's move on to our second section. And our second section is Josh's kind of interesting discussion picks. It's not necessarily just songs Josh likes, but it's songs that we want to discuss.
Yeah. I do have the benefit of that these songs are actually songs I do like as well. So I'm just going to go straight into them. The first song is by a boy group called 17 with their song Mansae.
A boy group? We're going to talk about a boy group?
We've only talked about one girl group or one female artist this whole podcast.
I'm surprised.
I'm not too surprised.
I'm also surprised because the next two also in your section are also dudes.
Yeah.
So it's a sausage episode.
But the funny thing is that I feel like I stole a lot of these songs from you, Steven, because you wanted to talk about most of these in your section, but I was like,
I liked all three of these too.
Yeah, these are good. These are good songs. But 17, Mansae. 17, you may not know, but we've talked about them once before in our podcast. Yep. They're a group of 14 guys, I think, not 17.
Not 17. We were confused.
They were originally 17 guys, and then they got some cuts or whatever, and they dropped down to 14. Yep. And you might be thinking in your mind, like, oh my God, 14 guys, that's too many. Well, some of you may be right, but I think what me and Steven can agree on with this song is that it really shines because there's so many members, actually.
Yeah, like, I mean, their debut song, which I just had to Google, I think it's called Adore You.
Adore You.
But, like, we really like that song. And I've listened to that song a lot, actually. I just didn't know the name of it.
Yeah.
Because they don't, I'm really bad at names in general.
Yeah.
And so if they don't repeat the name of the song 8,000 times in English, I'm probably not going to remember the name of it. So Adore You was not like that. But Adore You was a great song.
Yeah.
This is maybe not as great
as that song. Yeah.
But
it's still very good.
It's good for, like, many reasons.
Yeah.
Right? One of the main ones, weirdly, is that they have so many... Not only do they have so many members, because there's another boy group where they have a poop ton of members.
I know what you're talking about. Big something? Not Big Star, but...
It's not big. It's like the one with... Maybe they have the House Envy.
Where they have like 12 dudes in it. Yeah.
There's a shit ton of dudes, right? Doesn't matter. What matters is they got 14 dudes in 17... Fuck, that's annoying. Okay, they got 14 dudes and 17, but they set up the choreography with those 14 dudes really well.
So good. I had like a dancer orgasm when I saw like the choreography they put in place.
Yeah.
Because, so I mean, just to touch on the song a little bit, the song is a little bit generic, but they have parts that I think are really good, and they kind of seamlessly flow between singing parts and rapping parts, and that's good. But other than that, the song isn't really the gem.
Yeah, I like the chorus. I thought the chorus is really good. And with a group with 17 people, with 14 people, you would think there'd be definitely times where you're like, there's an odd man, there's a weird thing, like, I thought they flow, like, really well together of, like, I don't even know if they changed singers at this point. I don't even know if they changed rappers at this point. There's one part that is a little weird where they do that game thing where the Korean very standard child's game, and it's like da 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 da. It's really weird. But overall, I thought it was very smooth, like transitionally, for a 14-member group.
But the gem is the choreography. Oh my God, I could talk.
The testicle sack.
I could talk like 10 minutes just about the choreography alone. I won't. But they just do things that I've never seen K-pop groups do before.
And it's not because they're better, it's because they have 14 people, so they can do it.
They can do that stuff. And it's really reminiscent of, like, okay, a lot of people might kill me for this, but it really is reminiscent of EXO's Growl. Like, not Growl, was it Wolf? Wolf. I'm thinking of Wolf.
I mean, I don't know which one.
I'm thinking of Wolf, because in Wolf, I distinctly remember their choreography was like really well planned. They had like pockets, and like they were weaving in and out, and they kind of like were playing off each other and everything. And this song has all of that, actually. It starts off with them kind of doing this group choreography, and then there are parts in the music video where I'm just like, oh man, that was really cool, or oh man, that was a nice touch, or just whatever. Because when you think about it, developing a choreography for 14 people is really difficult. And even more so difficult to film a music video that has them dancing and all of it. So if you are a fan of choreography like I am, and probably Mina. Mina, I hope you see this as well. Do watch this music video. It's very, very good. If you don't really agree, then I mean, you and I like different choreography points, but there are definitely some worthwhile.
And you have to understand, I am the opposite of Josh. I could care less a lot of times about choreography.
It's true.
And like sometimes what I think it looks good, Josh is like, that was a pile of poop dunkets, right? But like, you know, I like 17 because they looked like they were having so much fun.
Yes.
And part of that is the choreography, and part of that is the music video. But like, I thought the choreography matched the style of the music video so well. Of just happy, fun. Like, we're not taking this too hard. It was one of the reasons why I loved the GOT7's Just Right so much, because it's so fun.
Yeah. It's so easygoing.
Yeah. And with 14 people, they did a lot of cool things. They did like the line, like my favorites, like they did a line, but like they would like kind of V out and V in, and then a different person will be in the middle, and then the V out and V in, and another different, like there's so many
just little
fun
small touches.
Yeah.
Little small things like that.
Where it's just they look like they're having fun. They look like they enjoy being around each other. I mean, the chances of 14 dudes actually liking each other is pretty small. There's probably some dudes that can't stand each other, but I would never know that.
Yeah.
And I really like that. You know,
they capture that perfectly in the music video. I don't know if it's a facade or anything, but they gave us this imagery of, man, these guys like each other.
Yeah.
These guys are friends.
Yeah.
These guys like goof around and have fun.
And part of it can be the same reason why I like G-Friend, which is they're doing a concept that is not new, but it's something
they're putting their own stank on it.
Yeah, they put their stank on it, and not many groups are doing that anymore. Yeah. And you know, in the last 2 years, I've just seen nothing but fucking I'm hard, motherfucker boy groups, and like I'm just tired of that sometimes. Yeah. And so I'm like, I really like this. They're fun and they're happy, and the song's not like Peaches and Cream and Butterflies. Like the song is not, you know, it's not like a old school boyfriend song where it was like so sweet you need to go to the dentist,
right? But this song is generic, right? It's like a love song, but it's kind of like,
but it has some funness.
It's meant to be a happy song, and it is a happy song, but not too overtly kind of in your face. In your mouth.
I do want to know what Mina would think. I really think Mina would not like this at all.
I think so too.
I think she would hate it because not enough hip hop.
Not enough hip hop.
Not enough people wearing black things.
Yeah.
Sorry,
not enough hard dance moves.
Yeah.
But they were getting after some of those moves.
Dude, some of those moves, I was like, they be working, man.
They getting sharp, man. They looking sharp. I mean, I say that a lot about like choreography and dancing points, but there are distinct parts in this music video where I'm like, that looks sharp as fuck. It looks so crisp, you know?
Yeah. And oddly enough, I agree. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to what they do next. Yeah. I hope they...
2 out of 2.
Yeah, I hope they, like G-Friend, will continue on with this and they don't veer off towards generic concept town. Yeah. But, you know, it's whatever.
So let's talk about our next song. Our next song is from our 친구, Jooyoung, featuring Superbee with Wet. You gotta need an umbrella, girl. Wet. Oh, don't make that sound. Oh, God. You took it too far. You took it too far.
Too far.
That's moist sound. Go! Oh, God.
It's awful. Anyways, Jooyoung, of course.
But what Steven just did, this is that song.
This is that song.
We joke around, but Jooyoung is, this is his dirty, nasty song.
This is everything J Park wanted to do with Sex Trip was accomplished by Jooyoung in this song.
Yeah, because you know J Park's Sex Trip, me and Steve, we kind of made a joke out of it because it's just so like ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous.
But this song, it was very Robin Thicke-ish. Robin Thicke being a serial playboy. He's not the best boyfriend. But Jooyoung, we don't know. But dude has a good.
I don't know where he went with that Robin Thicke sidetrack.
No, because Robin Thicke, because this song reminds me of a Robin Thicke song. Like,
okay, so for me, I've only heard that one song by Robin Thicke, and this song sounds nothing like it. So I don't know.
Okay, so Robin Thicke normally puts out songs, just about sex in general. Are they like very R&B like this? Yeah. All of the songs like are just about sex. Like there's one song called "Sex Therapy." I think there's one.
Do you go on a
line,
trip during
it's
that?
like I think a line in that is like, "I'll take you like Twilight. I'll bite your neck. You don't have to stay in the rain, girl. I'll get you wet."
Ooh.
Yeah, that's
Jooyoung right there. That's pretty much
that's
what
this
Jooyoung is
song.
saying. Yeah.
That's this song though, Chingus.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of just like kind of song, this is your song.
Yeah. It's very corny, but I mean, all of these songs are corny. That's the whole point, you know. Like the chorus in this is wet. You're gonna need an umbrella. Wet. Or, you know.
Yeah, this song is just all stank. This is all stank.
But Jooyoung's voice, I mean, while I think I would have loved to hear Jay Park sing this song, because I think Jay Park's voice has more range, but I think Jooyoung sings the song really well.
Yeah.
I only heard the music video version, which, despite saying it features Superbee is not in the music video version.
Yeah.
So I actually don't know whether or not his part is good. You've heard.
I've heard the full version. Superbee's part is very kind of forgettable.
Okay.
It's not very.
Not very. Well, Superbee, if you don't know, he was on Show Me the Money.
Yeah, it doesn't really add anything to the song, I want to say.
He's like he looks like he's 12 years old and like, he looks like you know. But,
he's a Keith 8 rapper.
Yeah, but his voice is not like that, and he's I don't know, he looks like a dickle pickle, but
dickle pickle.
But anyways, of course, you know, if you want to watch the music video, you can see Bora from Sistar getting wet. Mm-hmm. She gets wet all over in this, and so if you're into that, you should check this out. But if you like baby making music, if you somehow like Jay Park's Sex Trip, and you didn't laugh then, the entire time.
Yeah, if you're like, oh, Jay Park's so sexy, Sex Trip, then this song might be for you.
Yeah, it might be.
But I really like the song still because I do have a soft spot in my heart for these nasty baby making songs. So
is it a wet spot?
It's really moist.
Ooh, moist is the worst. Moist is the worst descriptor that's a synonym, quote unquote, for wet. Oh, moist. Oh, just remind. I have like a mental like feeling when I hear the word moist, and it's gross. It's like that hot, sticky, like.
That's
like
exactly.
Korea in the summer is very moist.
That's exactly what it is.
That's gross. All right, well, now we kind of in the middle where we thank all of our listeners. Yeah. We love you. A lot of you guys left really good feedback on the new version.
And the new setup and everything.
Yeah. A lot of it was about the video version. Again, we're still not always entirely sure the people that download our podcast are real, because despite it saying 5,000 people download our podcast the last couple episodes, sometimes we don't hear from them, so it gets a little weird. But we do want to thank everybody. Of course, the best way that you guys can help us out is to leave us iTunes reviews. And we got one new iTunes review by Amanjiplay.
Amanji Play?
Well, Amanjiplay says, thanks so much for making this podcast. You both make me laugh at work. And I love that you review a variety of music, not just the famous K-pop groups. And number one, you get to listen to podcasts at work?
What? That's wild.
Jelly. And two, if you like that, you'll definitely like this episode, because there's a crazy amount of variety in this. But thank you for leaving us an iTunes review. Again, we don't really care. You review us, give us as many stars as you think we deserve. Yeah. But leaving a review and leaving a rating really helps us on iTunes.
Yeah.
But actually, we did have a listener mention that, I'm on an Android. I have an Android phone, which millions of people do. Yeah. I can't leave a review on iTunes because
I don't use iTunes.
I don't use iTunes because fuck Apple, you know.
Which is fine.
Yeah, so they mentioned that we should try to be on this service called Stitcher, which I didn't know existed until then. But I did actually go through that. So our podcast is now available on Stitcher, which is an app you can download on Android or on iOS, whatever. But you can leave reviews and you can listen to us in the app Stitcher. So if you have an Android phone, I know the Android podcast programs are not as good. Yeah. You should maybe check out Stitcher, and you can find us, This Week in K-Pop if you didn't know. Just letting you guys know we have more options. And I'm talking a lot. Lastly, at the in the after show of last episode, I mentioned that I started a website. It's called essentialkpop.com, and it's pretty much just the spiritual successor to kpopmvs.com, which is
K-pop releases.
I don't even remember my own fucking website. But that was a website where, like, you know, if you want to know what was released, what music videos released, you go to this website. It's got no filler. It is just the essentials. What music was released? Here's the music video. Watch it. Okay.
That's it.
Not all K-pop where you have 18,000 articles that don't actually matter.
And some BuzzFeed articles nowadays too. That's
or
weird.
random sad articles like okay, this is gonna turn into a rant, but like I don't know how much you go on all K-pop, but like
not so much anymore.
it was just randomly they'll be like three teens murdered by Korean ladies. It's like they put in random Korean news into their articles.
Okay.
And so it'll be like, remember that one time, you know, we live in Korea, so we hear this news a lot, but you know, the lady that was slapping that child in the daycare, like they put news articles like that up. Or like, serial killer murders 3 people and kills himself. And I'm like, what? The article above it is like, look at this cute picture of Red Velvet. Why is the next picture about, or like that one story, I think it turned out to be fake, but that one story about the 2 Korean people that said their father was like selling them into sex slavery. And I'm like, why is this in my all K-pop news?
This is not K-pop. Your site is called all K-pop, not all Korean.
Like, I appreciate you're trying to like
give a taste,
give a different thing, but it's just so weird to be like, yo, 17's coming back. Oh, and this dude murdered 4 people and then ate their bodies. It's like,
no.
What? Why?
No.
Anyways, you're not going to get any of that on essentialkpop.com, but I do want to thank the people because I asked for some people to help me because the hardest part of my old version was that I just
keeping it up to date. Yeah, keeping it up to date.
So I want to thank a couple of people. I want to thank. I didn't want to use their real names because I didn't tell them I was doing this, but you know, Ali Betwixt. I really want to thank you. You just sent me some new designs for the website. A logo, and I
saw them. Amazing.
They're really amazing. I want to email you about that in a second. I want to thank Aaliyah, and of course I want to thank Link77 for helping me put up articles. And there's a couple of people that I talked to, but we either I haven't responded yet at this very moment, or we haven't come to an agreement of like getting our getting our linked up wherever. But that's Trev and Stephanie, which I use your real name because that was the name on the email. So, sorry.
Sorry, Stephanie.
Sorry, Stephanie. We'll just say your name again, Stephanie. We didn't use your last name, at least, Stephanie.
I bet some girl was like, my name's Stephanie, but I didn't know.
But we really want to thank you. So, you know, to our listeners, if you want to know what's come out, it's updated like almost to the hour because all these helpers are really great.
Yeah.
Check out essentialkpop.com.
So let's talk about, I guess, the last song of this section before Steven moves on to part 3 of his. My last song of this section was by G.Soul with Crazy for You.
G.Soul, of course, being that artist that from JYP,
yeah,
that like trained for what, like a billion
years.
And he came out with that ballad, which I can't remember the name of.
I wasn't too big a fan of that one, to be honest.
Yeah, I actually remember I thought you would really like it, and then you were like, meh.
Yeah.
It's called You, of course. It's called You. But what do you think about Crazy for You? You picked it, obviously.
Crazy for You, man, oh man. So first off, just listen to it with just the audio. I recommend just listen to with the audio because watching the music video, it will give you a different feel than just listening to the audio alone. So listen to the audio first, and just his voice is, for lack of a better word, very soulful. I think it's, it is a really smooth, kind of high-pitched voice, or higher-pitched voice that I like a lot. And it's just a sound and a singing style that you don't hear in K-pop these days at all.
Yeah.
For lack of a better word, it is very progressive. It is very new. It's very refreshing.
Yeah. I mean, it's based, of course, like a lot of things are off an older style that we just haven't heard for a while, but like...
Which is like most music these days, to be honest.
And it's just like, it's weird because for me, it's kind of like an R&B version of a ballad with a beat.
It's like trip hop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say that, actually, I said, yeah, I have no idea what that is. Sounds fancy, though, trip hop.
Yeah.
Is that like, what does that mean? When you're like listening to it and you're so into it, you might trip?
You know, like, do you know like RJD2 or like Nujabes?
I've heard the name RJD2.
RJD2. Yeah.
I've heard that name, but I don't know some music.
Those are some, just I guess, some very kind of trip hop kind of artists. They put out like songs that you listen to, and they're kind of like a story within the song itself. And I felt this song was kind of like that. Kind of, well, not exactly. Don't quote me on it, but it is very similar, and it reminded me very much of like trip hop, which I am a big fan of also. So
yeah, I thought it was just a funkier ballad with the beat that I enjoy, because I think not only is his voice pretty good, but like the accompanying, the beat and is great. I mean, that's like the theme for this whole episode. I think.
You really need to listen to it more than once. I think it's a song that after you listen to it one time, you can kind of just discard it. But I really think it'll be a fungus song for a lot of our chingus out there. Yeah,
the music video,
weird as shit.
Weird as fuck. I mean, it's a very standard concept of like I'm crazy, and this is like it's like
being crazy.
Like it's like kind of got that horror movie in an insane asylum feel to it, but you don't need that. You don't need that. All right, it's a little too weird and creepy.
A little bit too.
You don't need that. A little scary. Yeah, I'm not into that. Plus, G.Soul's hair, disgusting.
It seriously looked like he dyed it so many times and his hair was falling out. It looked like so bad.
Disgusting.
It looks so bad.
I'm sorry, G.Soul. Like,
it's like, what would happen if like T.O.P.'s hair like
sat out in the sun?
It was a total failure.
Yeah.
And then like it just like died. That's what his hair would look like.
And then kind of like wrinkled up into like a little. It's awful, G.Soul. I'm sorry, bro.
No, it's terrible.
What's up, my chingus? Thanks for watching part 2, Josh's picks of episode 76. If you want to see better picks, you should click right here, because part 3, which will be my picks, are going to be right over here. If you liked what you saw, make sure to like and subscribe and all that jazz. Tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your husbands, tell your wives, tell your grandmas, whatever. See you guys next time. Bye.